A silence hangs in the air. The kind of silence that comes right before a revelation. Somewhere in the archives of ancient philosophy, buried beneath dust, war, and centuries of forgotten wisdom, lies one habit, a single discipline so powerful that the richest, most unshakable men in history guarded it like a weapon. It wasn't gold. It wasn't strategy. It wasn't luck. It was a mindset so rare, so dangerously effective, that modern millionaires still practice it today, in private, quietly, before the world ever sees their rise. And here's the truth no one wants to admit. Wealth isn't created when you make money. Wealth is created when you master yourself. Tonight, you will discover the ancient Stoic habit that built empires, forged iron wills, and created a breed of success the world cannot break. A habit so old, it feels mythical. A habit so relevant, it shapes every millionaire you admire. Lean in, breathe slow, because once you hear this, you'll never see wealth the same way again. Wealth doesn't begin with money. It begins with a moment, the moment a man realizes that his power was never outside him. The Stoics understood this with a clarity sharper than bronze blades. They believed that before a man could command an empire, he must first learn to command himself, his emotions, his impulses, his inner storms. Tonight, you enter that same chamber of discovery. There is a story whispered in the journals of ancient Rome, a story of a young statesman who lost everything in a single night. His fortune, his political influence, his reputation, gone. But the next morning he walked into the Senate with the calm of an unbothered mountain. Not shaken, not broken, not desperate. A rival confronted him. How can you stand so steady when your world collapsed? The young Stoic smiled. Because the part of me that creates wealth, he said softly, was never taken. It was not arrogance, it was mastery. He knew a truth most people never discover. If your mind is owned by chaos, your destiny will be owned by circumstance. But if your mind is owned by you, the world has no choice but to follow. Modern millionaires, those who build empires, instead of chasing fast wins, still follow this same internal commandment. They don't start their day checking markets. They don't wake up seeking validation. They don't react to noise. They begin with alignment, a quiet ritual where they take the throne of their own emotions before life tries to steal it. This is the ancient habit. This is the secret. This is the principle that rewires your path to wealth. Emotional sovereignty. The ability to stay unmoved when the world tries to provoke you. The discipline to respond, not react. The strength to act from intention, not impulse. A millionaire once said, "My greatest investment was learning to remain calm while others panicked." But the Stoics said it first. In the ancient chamber, the torch flickers. The stone walls seem to whisper the same lesson. You cannot build wealth on an unstable foundation. And what is the foundation? Not money. Note opportunity. Not connections. The foundation is you, your thoughts, your inner dialogue, your ability to remain centered when life becomes loud. Because the truth is simple, powerful, and terrifying. Asterisk, asterisk. Most people lose their wealth long before they ever gain it, because they never mastered the inner world that creates it. Asterisk, asterisk. But you stand now at the threshold of a new beginning. Not the beginning of riches, the beginning of inner command. The torchlight steadies. The room grows silent. A new chapter of your destiny begins with a whisper. Control the mind. Command the world. Before sunrise, before noise, before the world awakens with demands and distractions, there exists a sacred hour known only to those who shape their destinies. The Stoics called it the hour of ownership, the moment when a person decides who will rule the day, their emotions or their principles. In ancient Greece, philosophers trained warriors using a ritual so quiet, so disciplined, that historians nearly overlooked it. It wasn't a battle technique. It wasn't strategy. It was something deeper. The practice of voluntary stillness. To sit in silence before dawn wasn't weakness. It was war. War against the mind's impulses. War against emotional noise. War against the chaos that tries to steer a life off course. Even today, modern millionaires still follow the same silent discipline. They rise before the world. They sit with themselves. They examine their fears without being consumed by them. They observe their thoughts without being ruled by them, because they understand what the Stoics discovered centuries ago. Asterisk, asterisk. A person who cannot sit with his thoughts in silence will crumble under the weight of his thoughts in chaos. Asterisk, asterisk. The ancient philosophers believed that darkness held truth. Not fear, not sorrow, but truth the kind you can hear only when the world is quiet. Imagine the young Marcus Aurelius, long before he became emperor, sitting alone in the darkness of his chamber. No crown, no power, just a candle and a mind learning to obey. He trained himself to face discomfort, not avoid it, to embrace stillness, not escape it, to listen inward, not chase outward. This was his hidden advantage. Not royalty, not privilege, discipline. And that is the missing link in most people's pursuit of wealth today. They chase opportunity but neglect identity. They want success but avoid stillness. They desire abundance but refuse the discipline that produces it. But wealth, true wealth, bows only to those who have mastered the dark hours. For in darkness, you see yourself. In darkness, you confront your weaknesses. In darkness, you build the mental armor success demands. A modern entrepreneur once confessed something powerful. I didn't become wealthy when I made money. I became wealthy the day I learned to sit in silence without needing the world to validate me. This is the ancient Stoic habit, resurfacing again voluntary discomfort. It is uncomfortable to wake early, uncomfortable to sit alone, uncomfortable to face your deepest truths. Yet discomfort is the architect of greatness. The figure on the pre-dawn hillside opens his eyes. A soft light breaks across the horizon. The world is waking up, but he is already ahead. Because while others sleep, he has already chosen who he will be. And that choice is wealth. The greatest battles are never fought in arenas, courts, or boardrooms. They are fought in a place no one can see the place. A Stoic knew better than any philosopher. The inner battlefield. This battlefield has no swords, no shields, no generals. Yet it decides more victories and defeats than any war in history. Every morning, every hour, every decision, you stand here, face to face with your doubts, eye to eye with your fears, toe to toe with habits that want to keep you small. And the Stoics understood something most people today have forgotten. Asterisk, asterisk, if you lose the battle within, you will lose every battle beyond. Asterisk, asterisk. In ancient Rome, a commander once sought guidance before a crucial campaign. He expected strategy. He expected tactics. Instead, the Stoic philosopher handed him a simple truth. Conquer the chaos inside you, and no man alive can conquer you. It stunned the commander. It confuses people even today, because most are taught to fight the world, not themselves. But modern millionaires, elite performers, and unstoppable visionaries know the secret. The world mirrors your internal state. If you are chaotic inside, your life becomes chaotic outside. If you are disciplined inside, your life becomes disciplined outside. Imagine standing in a room of mirrors. Every insecurity, every impulse, every unchecked emotion reflects back at you. Most people turn away. But Stoics and those who adopt their wealth habits stand still and observe. Not with judgment, with awareness. For awareness is the first weapon of internal victory. A millionaire once said, "I didn't rise because I was smarter. I rose because I could identify my weaknesses before they destroyed me." That sentence is pure Stoicism, because the ancient habit is not perfection. It's self-regulation, the quiet, constant correction of the inner compass. When anger flashes, they breathe. When fear whispers, they question it. When doubt rises, they stand taller. Modern society celebrates reaction, instant, emotional, explosive. The Stoic path celebrates command, slow, intentional, unshakable. The difference determines who builds wealth and who destroys it. In the battlefield within, a single disciplined thought can win a war. A single controlled emotion can save a destiny. A single moment of clarity can change the path of an entire lifetime. The ripples expand on the water. One small disturbance becomes a widening circle of influence. Your mind works the same way. Control one thought, and soon you control 10. Control 10, and soon you control your day. Control your day, and you begin to control your life. This is the ancient Stoic wealth habit in motion. Inner victory before outer success. The ripples fade. The surface returns to stillness. The battle within is yours to win. There is a truth hidden in every era of greatness, a truth the Stoics held in their blood and modern millionaires hold in their schedule. Asterisk. Asterisk. Comfort weakens you. Discomfort builds you. In ancient Athens, a young student once asked his Stoic mentor, "Why do you train yourself in hardship when you have the means to live easily?" The mentor smiled, not with pity, but with prophecy. Because a man who only lives with ease becomes fragile. A man who embraces difficulty becomes powerful. This was the birth of voluntary discomfort, the discipline of doing hard things, not because you are forced, but because it strengthens the architecture of your character. And that strength becomes wealth. Every millionaire who built something from nothing knows this truth. They woke earlier than comfort wanted, worked longer than comfort preferred, learned skills comfort tried to avoid, made decisions comfort whispered against. They understood that wealth is not created in convenience, it is forged in productive struggle. The Stoics practiced this deliberately. They took cold walks, wore simple clothing, ate plain meals, slept on hard surfaces, faced the elements with calm acceptance. Not because they lacked luxury, but because they wanted sovereignty, the ability to stand strong in any circumstance. Today, high performers mimic the same principle in new forms. Hard training, strict routines, disciplined focus, financial restraint, emotional accountability. Different methods, same core truth. Strength is a choice. Voluntary discomfort trains the mind to stop fearing challenges. It teaches your emotions to obey. It turns discomfort from an enemy into a weapon. Because here is the quiet secret the Stoics discovered. Asterisk, asterisk, the person who seeks comfort becomes a slave to life. The person who conquers discomfort becomes unstoppable. Asterisk, asterisk. On the mountainside, the man pauses. His stone is heavy. His breath is sharp. Yet he does not complain, because the weight he carries is not punishment. It is preparation. Every step strengthens him. Every strain shapes him. Every moment of hardship prepares him for victories others will call luck. And so it is with wealth. People admire the success, but never see the weight lifted in silence, the late nights, the early mornings, the sacrifices made without applause, the habits repeated without recognition. These are the stones millionaires carry, not because they have to, but because they choose to. A soft wind moves across the mountain. The man lifts his eyes to the peak. He smiles. The stone is still heavy, but he is getting stronger. And strength always pays dividends. There is a truth, the Stoics whispered, and modern millionaires rediscovered. Asterisk, asterisk. Your future is not waiting for you. It is calling you every day through your decisions. Asterisk, asterisk. The ancient philosophers practiced a mindset rarely spoken today, yet shockingly powerful. Memento futurum, remember your future. People know, remember death. But they forget the more practical command. Remember the person you are meant to become. In Rome, a young scholar once asked the philosopher Seneca, "How do I know what choice is correct?" Seneca pointed toward the horizon and answered, "Ask the man you will be in 10 years. He already knows." Modern millionaires live by this principle intuitively. Before they act, they look forward to the version of themselves they are building, not the one they were, not the one others expect, but the one aligned with destiny. This is why their decisions seem sharp, disciplined, almost surgical. They are not reacting to the present. They are serving the future. Picture the chamber of mirrors again. Each reflection represents a possible life, one shaped by discipline, another shaped by distraction, one by courage, another by fear. The Stoic stands in the center, still and calm. He observes each version quietly. Then he chooses, not with emotion, with intention. And that choice, repeated day after day, moment after moment, creates the path everyone else will one day call success. Because here is the secret. Asterisk, asterisk. The future is not an accident. It is an accumulation. Asterisk, asterisk. Every disciplined action is a brick. Every avoided distraction is mortar. Every moment of focus becomes architecture. Modern millionaires visualize their future selves with almost sacred seriousness. They don't dream aimlessly. They design deliberately. They ask themselves, how would my future self act today? What is the one decision he would not tolerate me avoiding? What would he sacrifice? What would he ignore? What would he protect? This is the Stoic wealth habit in its purest form. Alignment with future identity. The candle flickers. The bronze mirrors shimmer. In each reflection, a different destiny waits. Some are dim, shaped by excuses and hesitation, but others glow, sculpted by discipline, discomfort, and intentional evolution. The man steps closer to the reflection he desires. He places his hand against the cold bronze surface. There is no magic, no prophecy, just a simple realization. Become him now, or never become him at all. Asterisk, asterisk. The candle straightens. The air stills. The decision is made. Tomorrow's greatness begins with today's alignment. There is a practice the Stoics guarded, a ritual so subtle the world barely noticed it, yet so powerful it shaped empires. The silent measurement. In a world obsessed with noise, the Stoics tracked something far more valuable than wealth itself, their behavior. No bragging, no boasting, no announcements. Just a private ledger where they examined themselves with unflinching honesty. Every night, before sleep, they would ask, what did I do well? What did I fail to control? What must I improve tomorrow? This simple, relentless accountability became their secret weapon. Centuries later, modern millionaires do the same, using journals, planners, digital logs, not to show the world, but to sharpen themselves quietly. Because here is a truth most never face. You cannot manage what you refuse to measure. You cannot shape a strong mind if you never examine its weaknesses. You cannot build wealth if you never evaluate your habits. You cannot transform your life if you keep guessing instead of tracking. The Stoic ledger was not about judgment. It was about clarity. Clarity that reveals where discipline slipped. Clarity that illuminates where strength emerged. Clarity that transforms guesswork into mastery. Picture the ancient philosopher sitting with his ledger, candle flickering beside him. He writes slowly, deliberately, each word a blueprint for a stronger tomorrow. Not one entry is dramatic. Not one is glamorous, but all of them build power. Because greatness is not created by rare moments. It is created by daily calibration. A modern entrepreneur once said, "Success didn't come when I worked harder. It came when I became aware of where I was wasting my strength." That realization is pure Stoicism. The quiet ledger reveals patterns, where procrastination hides, where emotion overrides logic, where excuses pretend to be reasons, where discipline quietly wins small battles no one else will ever see. And those small battles, accumulate, they become days, they become months, they become transformation. The lantern glows stronger. The pages shift gently in the breeze. You can almost hear the whisper, asterisk, asterisk, track your actions, and your actions will reward you. Ignore them, and they will punish you. Asterisk, asterisk. In the storm outside, lightning flashes, a reminder that life is unpredictable. But inside the chamber, the ledger remains steady. This is the essence of the Stoic wealth habit. Let the world be chaotic. You remain measurable. Let life be uncertain. You remain accountable. Let noise grow louder. You remain silent and disciplined. The man closes the ledger. He exhales. The storm begins to fade. Tomorrow he will return to this table, and the day after, and every day that follows. Because mastery is not an event. It is a record. Wealth is rarely visible in its making. It grows in silence, like roots beneath frozen soil. The Stoics understood this centuries before spreadsheets and stock tickers existed. True fortune is invisible until it is inevitable. A young Roman merchant once asked the philosopher Epictetus, "How will I know I am wealthy?" The philosopher's eyes gleamed with quiet fire. "When you stop chasing coins and begin building your inner empire, then wealth will arrive without invitation." Modern millionaires live this principle every day. They understand that the visible rewards, money, prestige, influence, are the byproducts of a disciplined, invisible process. Consider the construction site. No one notices the thousands of bricks laid in perfect alignment. No one applauds the foundation poured in midnight silence. Yet when the structure rises, strong and magnificent, the world marvels, unaware that its power was forged in unglamorous, unrecorded labor. Your mind is the same construction site, every thought controlled, every impulse disciplined, every decision aligned with purpose. Each is a brick, each is a foundation. And this is the hidden Stoic habit, deliberate, invisible architecture. It is what separates fleeting success from lasting fortune. It is why some people amass wealth only to lose it, and why others quietly rise until the world can no longer ignore them. A modern CEO once revealed, "I made my millions by doing the work no one sees. I became wealthy before the money appeared." That is the essence of this principle. Invisible fort compounds. Silent action accelerates. Daily repetition shapes destiny. And here is the Stoic twist. The invisible architecture is not built for vanity. It is built for resilience, for sovereignty, for freedom from circumstances that would collapse weaker minds. Imagine a storm approaching the skeletal building. Winds howl, rain lashes. The unfinished structure wavers, but it does not fall, because its foundation was laid carefully, deliberately, invisibly. Your inner empire works the same way. Discipline, focus, self-command, each brick laid with intention, protects you against the storms of chaos, distraction, and fear. And when fortune finally manifests, when wealth, opportunity, and influence appear, the world assumes it is magic. But you know better. It is the visible reward of invisible mastery. The twilight deepens. The skeletal building stands tall against the horizon. Its form is still incomplete, yet unshakable. And in its shadow, the disciplined mind rises silently, unnoticeable yet inevitable. Asterisk, asterisk, what the world sees is wealth. What you feel is the strength that built it. Asterisk, asterisk. The world will try to unseat you. Life will throw storms. Opportunities will vanish. Friends will fail. Markets will collapse. Fears will roar. And yet, the Stoics teach this. Asterisk, asterisk. Calm is not the absence of chaos. Calm is mastery amidst chaos. Asterisk, asterisk. Centuries ago, a Roman general faced a rebellion that threatened to destroy his province. Soldiers panicked. Civilians screamed. Enemy advanced. He did not move with panic. He did not raise his voice. He sat quietly in his command tent, breathing steadily, calculating each move with a mind unmoved by the storm around him. By the time the first battle erupted, he had already won, not by force alone, but because his mind remained sovereign. This is the habit modern millionaires still use, though the battles are different. They face financial crises, business betrayal, public scrutiny, and personal setbacks. Yet inside, their calm never wavers. Their decisions are precise. Their discipline unwavering. Because wealth is never built in chaos. It is built in calculated calm, repeated habitually, silently, persistently. Picture the lone ship on the stormy sea. All around it, waves crash and winds scream. Yet the ship moves straight. Why? Because its captain understands the currents, respects the storm, and trusts the vessel's foundation. Your mind, disciplined, trained, and measured, becomes that vessel. Your principles are the rudder. Your habits are the sails. Your inner fortress remains intact, no matter how violent the external storm. The Stoics called it the inner citadel, a place of unwavering focus, deliberate choice, and indestructible calm. Modern millionaires call it resilience, but it is the same principle. It is the last frontier before fortune becomes inevitable. Because external success cannot survive a chaotic mind. Only a steady, disciplined mind can turn opportunity into wealth again and again. A contemporary billionaire once confessed, "I didn't make money because I was lucky. I made money because no storm ever made me quit. I became unshakable long before I became wealthy." That is the essence of this chapter. Build the calm first, and the world will follow. The storm begins to fade. Lightning retreats. Waves settle. The lone ship sails steadily into the horizon. And as dawn breaks across the water, you realize the truth the Stoics always knew. Asterisk, asterisk, chaos is inevitable. Calm is a choice. Wealth is the reward of the chosen. Asterisk, asterisk. At last, we arrive at the threshold of all mastery. The Stoics called it the apex of the inner citadel, a place where fear, doubt, and chaos cannot enter. You have seen the storms. You have carried the weight. You have built the invisible architecture. You have aligned with the person you are destined to become. And now, you stand here. Here, the external world hums with noise and distraction. Yet inside there is nothing but stillness. Not emptiness, not numbness, but kiet power. This is the moment the ancient philosophers treasured. The culmination of every choice, every habit, every disciplined act. The eternal stillness is not passive. It is not resignation. It is command without resistance. It is knowing that nothing outside can disturb the foundation you have built. Modern millionaires who reach this place describe the same truth. They do not panic when the market falls. They do not crumble under criticism. They do not seek approval, because they have realized the ultimate principle. Asterisk. Asterisk wealth flows naturally to the mind that has mastered itself. Power belongs to the one who cannot be shaken. Success follows the one who already stands complete. Asterisk, asterisk. In the golden light of dawn, the figure inhales deeply. The valley below stirs, birds take flight, rivers reflect the sun like molten gold. But the figure remains unmoved, a witness to the world, yet untouched by it. You now understand the Stoic wealth habit. It was never about riches alone. It was about sovereignty, disciplina, clarity, the kind of internal mastery that makes wealth inevitable, not forced. Every storm faced, every stone carried, every night spent in reflection, every ledger entry, every act of voluntary discomfort, it all leads to this moment. The mind becomes a citadel, the heart unshakable, the soul calm and infinite. And in this stillness, a quiet truth emerges. Asterisk, asterisk, you are already wealthy. You are already powerful. You are already complete. Asterisk, asterisk. The sun rises higher. Mist lifts from the valley. The world awakens, unaware of the silent empire within you. And yet, you feel it. A stillness that no noise can pierce. A calm that no storm can shake. An eternal power that flows silently, endlessly. The Stoics smiled in their tombs. Modern millionaires nod in their private offices. And now, you breathe it in. The eternal stillness of power. The calm before, during, and after the storm. The ultimate Stoic wealth habit realized. You exhale. The world continues, but you stand immortal in your mastery.